Hey everybody, it's Gary Dempsey here at Harcourt's Real Estate. Today I'm going to be running down the top 10 cities to live in Los Angeles if you have a family. Stay tuned. So today we're going to run down the top 10 places to live in Los Angeles for families. And the way that we came up with this list today, the criteria specifically is based on 7 different things. Number 1 is quality of life. 2 is affordability. 3, climate. 4, schools. 5, traffic and congestion. 6, are there jobs there? And 7, things to do. As you know, LA is giant. It actually has over 500 square miles. So there are tons of cities, some incorporated, some unincorporated, that are run by the city of Los Angeles. But I've lived in many of these cities. I've lived here my whole life, and I'm actually second generation Angelino. So I've worked in all these areas, lived in many of these areas, but I want to go down today with a top 10 list based on the best cities to live in for families. And if I was going to do a list for maybe a business professional or a single person or for different things, I would probably come up with a completely different list because people are looking for different things. But you have a family, you're looking for certain things based on the criteria that I went over, and that's what we're going to do today. So sit back and enjoy. Number 10, Westlake Village. So this one almost didn't make my list because of the high medium home value there, but it is in a great area. It's off of the 101 freeway, it's next to Calabasas. The reason I chose this place is because it is easy to get to other places in LA. Really nice homes up there. They do have the Commons, which is their shopping center with all kinds of stuff. That's where you're going to see everybody. And the median home value there is $913,400, which is one of the higher cities on my list. But because of the niceness of this place, it definitely makes the list for top 10. It is in the San Fernando Valley, on the edge of it, in the West Valley. So what is the weather there? That's a big deal, and it's different in all parts of Los Angeles. In December, January, February are the cool months, around 65. Summers average 75 and 78, but you know, like any part of LA, it could be up to 100. Number 9, Altadena. Altadena is located above Pasadena, and it's sort of secluded. It's up in the mountains. About 70% of everyone that lives there are actually homeowners. The median home value there is $692,800. The summer gets pretty warm, about 83 degrees average, but it's usually comfy the rest of the months, around 69, and most of the rain you get is in February. The schools there rank between a B+ to an A. As far as traffic is pretty light in Altadena, and there's tons of different streets that you can take. But for the most part, since it's way up the hill off of Lake Street, it definitely doesn't have a lot of traffic at all. There's not a lot of jobs in Altadena, but there are tons of jobs when you just go down the hill to Pasadena or over to, you can get down to Los Angeles from there. There's all kinds of places that have plenty of jobs. I think most people do go into either into Burbank or downtown areas to work. Hiking is a big deal there. People love to hike. And most of the entertainment can be found in Pasadena, which is just down the hill. Okay, number 8, Culver City. So Culver City is rich in Hollywood history. It's got Sony, MGM Studios, Culver Studios. The Wizard of Oz was actually filmed there, and the Culver Hotel is famous for John Wayne owning it at one point, and also the Munchkins from the Wizard of Oz actually staying in this hotel. That whole downtown area has been revitalized, so movie theaters, restaurants, bars. It is a very cool place. The median home value there in Culver City is about $800,000, a little over 800. The weather there is great because it is sort of what we call the west side of Los Angeles. You know, it's not too far from the ocean. It's a few miles away. probably 2.5 miles from the ocean. So it's about 76 degrees, and in the summer it averages about 78. It can get a little bit hotter, but as a whole, it's the weather there is pretty amazing. The schools are very good in Culver City. They do get an A rating. Traffic is pretty heavy though at Culver City. This is why Culver City didn't go higher on my list, because it's densely populated. Lots of people live there. A lot of homeowners plus renters as well. But it is easy to get to different freeways. It's off of the 10 is one of the freeways, and the 405 is another one that you can get to. You can also go south to hit the 405 from La Cienega, although that corridor is getting very crowded. They're building a lot over there, but you can definitely get to lots of places. It's close to LAX as well. So as far as being centrally located, no matter where you work in Los Angeles, probably one of the best places to be located centrally. We used to live in Culver City, and it's a really great city. There are lots of jobs there in tech, in entertainment, tons of places to work, and obviously nearby Santa Monica, if you're in the tech industry, Playa del Rey, places like that have plenty of work for people, and then also downtown is not very far away. So like I said, tons of restaurants, bars, downtown Culver City. There's also some great ones that you cannot miss. People love Tito's Tacos. It's not my favorite, not authentic enough, but next door to that is a place called Johnny's Pastrami's that has amazing pastrami sandwiches. And if you're ready to spend $14 on a pastrami sandwich, well, that's where you want to go. Okay, number 7, Porter Ranch. So Porter Ranch is actually in the valley. It's up against the foothills mountains. It's sort of a newer community. There's older part with beautiful homes, spacious homes with big lots, and there's a whole new section. And it's a really nice place. It's located right off the 118 freeway. It's just above Northridge, and it's definitely a nice place to live. And their median home value there is $712. I know these sound a lot like if you're coming from another state, but that's the sticker shock that you're going to see. And I'm actually giving you guys pretty moderate cities as far as pricing. That's why you're not going to hear me talk about Beverly Hills and Brentwood and places like that. In Porter Ranch, it does get hot. The average is about 86 in the summer, and then it's around 70s, low 70 degrees during the rest of the year. But I've been there, and it's definitely broken 100. So if you're lucky to have a pool, I would suggest definitely getting a home that's got a pool over there. The schools are ranked A. There's also Cal State Northridge, which is nearby. And traffic there is actually pretty light for a good-sized town. It's easy to get to the 118, and it's easy to get downtown. You can even take the metro train down that way. Not a ton of jobs in this part of the town, but again, because it's so centrally located, you can get downtown, you can get to the other parts of the valley to jobs. And there is definitely a new development there for restaurants and shopping and things like that that's there in Porter Ranch. There's some beautiful churches and schools up there as well. So a very family-friendly, very family-oriented place to live. All right, number 6, Burbank. My mom will be mad that I did not rank this higher. This is where we grew up. My parents still live there. But rich in history, this is where, NBC, Disney, ABC, all of those guys are in Burbank. The Tonight Show, everything from TV. Next door to that is Universal. So that's a great place to live, just with the history. All that's still happening, so it's definitely still a hot place to live. The median home value there is $688,500, so not as expensive as some of the cities on the west side. November through April, it's pretty comfortable. It's about 71 degrees on average. The summer is hot. The average temperature is 84, but I've been there many times where the summer will hit over 100 degrees. But it's not every day. You usually get hot spells and then it'll cool down. It's pretty nice. The public schools get an A in Burbank. Traffic is pretty moderate. It used to be very light. But you know, it's I would call it moderate. However, there's tons of different streets you can take that parallel, like Glen Oaks Boulevard, if you're going, those routes. I would say one of the best areas to live in is either in the hills above Glen Oaks Boulevard, that whole section up there, or down by Riverside, which is on the other side of the city, near where all the studios are. There's tons of jobs in Burbank, from tech to the movie industry, the TV industry, manufacturing, all kinds of jobs in Burbank, and it's always been a big job place. We used to have Lockheed there growing up, but they moved out of there. But to replace it, they've put in a pretty nice development for shopping and eating and all that good stuff. Which brings me to bars, restaurants, shopping. Burbank's got a ton of it. They've got a mall. They've got other places. They've got Magnolia, Burbank Boulevard, which is sort of have some old school shopping for you. But it's definitely a great place to live. It definitely gives you that old town feel. Lots of parks, lots of churches, lots of schools. So Burbank's a great place to live. I'd recommend it to everybody. Okay, number 5, El Segundo. Now this one is tough because the plus side of this is definitely the small feel. You get the small town feel. It's sort of hidden away. It's not a place that you ever would drive through from one city to another, the way it's tucked in. It borders the ocean, and then basically Sepulveda Boulevard, which is Los Angeles' longest street, but you would never drive through it. But it does have a main street with restaurants and things like that, and some shopping. People tend not to leave El Segundo, so when you want to try to buy a home, it's very difficult to find homes in El Segundo. That's why you see people kind of going either south of there or even east of there. The median home price there is $969,700 as of date, and so it's on the higher end. The ocean breezes, the proximity to the ocean keep it around 72 during the winter, during the summer, and about 66 during the winter. The schools are very good. They're ranked A. Traffic is super light there. Although, when you do want to go to other parts of Los Angeles, you're gonna get hit in traffic because it's more congested around the area, but not necessarily in El Segundo itself. As far as jobs, the aerospace industry is nearby. SpaceX, Northrop Grumman, and tons of jobs like that. Not necessarily in El Segundo, although the Chevron refinery is found there. But it's still pretty centrally located to jobs that are easy to get to. All right, now number 4 on my list is one of my favorites, is Pasadena. So Pasadena is tons of history. It's been around for a long time. The homes there are gorgeous. If you love California bungalows or craftsman style homes, built in the early 1900s, 1910s and 20s. Tons of character and charm in these places, usually a little bit bigger lots. The community is great. You can go for walks there, plenty of families and parks, and manicured lawns. At night it's beautiful, with the homes usually lit up with Malibu lighting. The median home price there is $737,100. And the summers get pretty warm. They're around 84, although they will climb into 100 sometimes. The winters are cooler, about 68. However, it can get down in the 40s in the middle of winter. And there's more rain there, I would say, in other cities in Los Angeles. But as a whole, Los Angeles just doesn't get a lot of rain at all. The schools there are good. They're an A school city. Traffic there is moderate. Some sections are heavier than the others. But again, like Burbank, there's tons of different streets that you can take that might parallel the main streets. Retail and office jobs are in Pasadena. I know there's some tech there, but it is close again to the freeways. It's right off the 210. It's pretty easy to get downtown LA if that's where you work, or into the Valley, into Burbank or Glendale or other areas like that. I'd say the best areas to live in Pasadena itself would probably be Hastings Ranch or East Pasadena, where we used to live, sort of halfway up, getting up into the San Gabriel Mountains. There's tons of hiking there. And again, there's home tours you can go on and look at all these great classic homes. Of course, the Rose Bowl is there. That was built over 100 years ago. And I know they used plows, with horses and plows to dig that place out and build it. So that was built, 100 years ago, and it's still, doing well today. UCLA Bruins are playing their football there. Okay, number 3, Rancho Palos Verdes. Now, this is my favorite city in Los Angeles. And the only reason why I didn't make number 1 is because of the median home price, which is a little bit over 1.1 million. Not saying that you can't get a home for less than $1 million in Rancho Palos Verdes, but when you weigh that con with all of the pros, I had to get this towards the top of the list. So Palos Verdes is a peninsula located south of LAX, about 10 miles south of Redondo Beach, north of Torrance. And it sits in its own peninsula. It sort of has its own weather system there. It's a master plan community, so the way they built it is so that the homes, most of them have take advantage of ocean views on the sides that have ocean views and city views as well. There's a lot of horses and ranch style homes and things in Palos Verdes. Lots of parks. It's such a peaceful place to live. And it's really sort of an unknown place in Los Angeles. We did do a video you can look at called The Best City in Los Angeles That Nobody Knows About. And we'll put that link at the end of the video. We'll link to that. But it's a very safe, quiet community up on a hill. Like I said, median home price is $1,114,800. The weather here I would call perfect. The summer stays cool and in the 70s, and in the wintertime it just dips under that, maybe in the 60s. It doesn't get very cold in Palos Verdes, and it doesn't get very hot either. Sometimes we will get some dense fog, and then sometimes we'll be in the sun and the beaches below us will get some dense fog. But either way, it's a beautiful place to live. The schools here are A+, which is one of the reasons why a lot of families come to live here. There's a lot of schools, a lot of parks. The traffic here is light, and the only time you'll see a lot of traffic is maybe when school is either just opening, or when they just get out and kids are going and parents are picking up the kids. You will sometimes run into horses that are crossing the street. That's going to cause a little bit of traffic, but you know what? Compared to other parts of the city that I've lived in, I welcome watching horses cross the street and making me wait an extra 30 seconds. We have our own sort of self-contained mall here, the Peninsula Center. We've got shopping. It's very convenient, so we don't have to go all the way down the hill, which is not far. And people tend to, it's funny that people live in Palos Verdes tend to not like to drive very far down the hill. So I would say this place is ideal for people that at least one of the people in the family are working from home if possible, or close by. There's really no jobs in Palos Verdes. So most people that do have jobs are going to commute to either Long Beach or Redondo Beach or Torrance, or Hawthorne, or places like that. And it is far from the freeway. Probably the closest freeway is about 20 minutes from there. But again, because of that, you've got a place that's very quiet and, very safe. We have Terranea Hotel, which is on the ocean, and you're looking at about, $450 to $700 a night there. We also have Trump International Golf Course, ranked one of the top 100 golf courses in America there. We have Los Verdes at the top of the hill, with beautiful ocean views there. You can see Catalina from many parts of this place. So, barring the high median home prices, not saying that you can't get a home for less than $1 million, you can, but most of those are going to be on the east side facing the San Pedro area. Okay, number 2. Torrance, California. So Torrance is an actually pretty large city. It's located right next to Palos Verdes and Redondo Beach. So it is part of the South Bay. It is a big city. The median home values there are $724,700. The weather there is amazing. In the summer, it stays around 75 by average, and the winter is about 68 degrees. There's a lot of schools. There are A schools as well, ranked A. So families like to go there. You know, the 724 for, you know, median home value is a really good value for being in the South Bay and actually being in LA. You know, because of that, plus the great, you know, weather that we have here, plus as far as, you know, what else we offer in Torrance, we have, there's plenty of jobs here. There's the medical industry, a lot of, you know, hospitals. We have the aerospace close by. So there's tons of jobs here or nearby. It is near the beach, and I would say the best areas to live in Torrance would be Walteria, which is sort of at the base of Palos Verdes, and then the Southwood area, which is sort of like, you know, nice little family homes that people love to move in. They're not giant homes, so people usually outgrow them and then they start moving up the hill to Palos Verdes. But all in all, Torrance is a great city to live in, and definitely worth the #2 spot. All right, we are on the #1 city to live in for families in Los Angeles, Redondo Beach, California. So I would call this the best value beach community in Los Angeles. Again, the home prices are on the little higher side, $875. The types of homes here you're gonna find are 2 and 3 on a lot. They're sort of long and skinnier lots that what builders had done, and they used to have small homes and they had torn those down and put 3 on the lot. Now they call those townhomes, but technically, you know, they look like and act like single family homes because they're all detached, but you have to call them a townhome if they are more than 1 on a lot. Otherwise you would have to call it a duplex or a triplex. There are other homes, just single family, 1 on a lot as well. Most of those are found in North Redondo. It's sort of divided from North Redondo Beach and South Redondo Beach. The more expensive homes are in the South Redondo Beach. Our office is actually located right here in South Redondo, which is where I'm sitting right now. And they call it the Hollywood Riviera, which I'd probably say is the best place to live in Redondo Beach, or actually one of the best places to live in all of Los Angeles, because of the views of the ocean, the proximity to the beach. And we've got shopping here in the Hollywood Riviera. The weather here is amazing, about 73 degrees during the winter and during the summer, and the winter is around 67 degrees. The schools are very good, all A's, and the traffic is light to moderate. And again, there's plenty of routes to take in Redondo Beach, but you know, compared to like a Culver City, West Los Angeles, Santa Monica, it is nothing like those places. It's very refreshing to drive around here. Never really run into much traffic at all. There's not a ton of big jobs in Redondo Beach, but they are next door, you know, like the aerospace jobs, and you know, the airport is very close. It's very easy to get to LAX from here. So there are plenty of jobs nearby, and there are some in Redondo, but I'd say most of them are going to be in cities right next door, but traffic is so easy, it's not a big deal. You've got the beaches here, which are really nice. We have a really giant pier, restaurants, nightlife, and I would say definitely the best city in Redondo Beach, #1. So if you like this video and you think I might have missed any cities, or if I, you know, didn't prioritize these correctly, I'd like to hear from you. So go ahead and comment below. If you want to see more of these, I'm thinking about doing one for different types of people. Like definitely would be a different sort of list for Los Angeles. But at the moment, I would say the people that are moving right now into the area or out are definitely families, you know, coming from other places. So if you're coming to LA and you're coming from another place, give us a call. We'll definitely show you around. We've got the experience. We've seen and lived in a lot of these different cities in Los Angeles, and we'll line you up with the one that's perfect for your family. Thanks so much. Have a great day. See you next time.